that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
And what an honor it is to start our week with a meditation instructor, astrologer, numerologist, life coach. She's a sound bathologist, a sound healer, and a meditation teacher. Saharah Ali, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. And I'm Dominique's friend.
And she's Dominique's friend. That's not much of a credential, but it's my blessing.
Good morning, KBLA family, and welcome to Mindful Monday, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, affirmation, and prayer as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with faith, wisdom, truth, and power. This week, we're under the celestial influence of Venus shifting into Leo. It's in Leo until September 20th. Venus is a planet of love, values, money, and relationships, making this a powerful time to heal, reflect, and reassess our values. It's aiding us to recalibrate our heart's desires, fostering strength and harmony in all relationships. Venus in fiery Leo, sign of divine consciousness and unapologetic visibility, opens a space for authentic expression of self, stepping fully into our power, reflecting our true self, inviting moments of creativity and joy in our daily life. It's asking us to invest in experiences and connections that enrich our lives, holding grace and appreciation, fostering a strong sense of spiritual liberation. It's also aiding us to move beyond what's familiar, releasing limited, archaic programs, opening our hearts to trust inner guidance. The call to action is to be bold, focusing on the long game, standing in our power as agents of change, to live our divine purpose, trusting the process of God's will to be done, not ours. Our Mindful Monday intention is to let go of self-judgment. Trust the power of our core self as spirits having a human experience. So going forward with today's Mindful Monday meditation, let's listen with our hearts. Let's open our minds, letting go of judgment of self and allowing divine wisdom to transform the lies we tell ourselves about who we're not. So get calm for a moment, and now take a big breath and pause and be right here, right now. As you slowly exhale, ground yourself, center yourself, feel yourself anchored and grounded. Close your eyes, giving yourself permission to be here right now, centered, listening to your breath. And slowly breathe in and out through your nose 3 or 4 times as you feel centered. And feel your heartbeat. On each inhale, center yourself. And each exhale, ground yourself. Find stillness. Find inner peace. Allow yourself to open to divine guidance. Breathe, opening to your wholeness. Relax, release your fears and judgment. Be right here, right now, in this moment. Find stillness. Breathe in self-love. Allow empowerment, opening yourself to receive your highest good with grace. Relax, quiet your mind, quiet your body, and surrender. Surrender here and now, calling forward new beginnings, calling forward empowerment and truth. Breathe, relax, release, and let go. Let go of fears, let go of doubts, let go of self-judgment. Relax and lean into opening your heart. Opening your heart to align your mind, your body, and spirit to your greatness. Ready and open to live infinite possibilities. Relax. Connect to your breath. And embrace pride. Embrace self-love and open to change, ready to elevate your life. Relax and surrender. Feel centered and grounded, willing and ready to live a life of purpose, honoring self-love, honoring your wholeness. Let's take a breath, a deep, big breath. And as you exhale, allow yourself to open and release and let go. And I'll take the biggest breath you've had all morning. And as you exhale, open your heart and mind to receive our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Relax and listen with your heart and your mind. Our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Today, with grace and ease, I step boldly forward to truly live on purpose a life of fulfillment. Today, with grace and ease, I step boldly forward to truly live on purpose a life of fulfillment. Today, with grace and ease, I step boldly forward to truly live on purpose a life of fulfillment.
Sounds good.
Breathe in, relax, and bring your thoughts. Yeah, it is with this Leo transit. It's important for us to understand that we can be bold, we can be unapologetic. And the Leo planets, because it's conjunct Mercury also, it's okay to speak your truth. It's okay to live your truth. But mindfully be in your power as you do this. Don't make it superficial. And allow yourself to create something that you've never thought that you could manifest in your life, because it is the season of healing. It's the season of transformation. It's the season of understanding your purpose and living it unapologetically so that you can receive things you've never believed that your soul could experience. You know, like we say, when there's chaos in the world, there's harmony and peace that we have to find within so our ancestors can align us, that we can be on purpose and we can be safe. So, thank you, Dominique. Tavis Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic, mindfully blessed week, stepping boldly forward, truly living on purpose, a life of fulfillment. With grace and ease.
I love that. A life of fulfillment. Yes, thank you for that, Saharah. I think when we get stressed, whether it's over the news or the heat or whatever it might be, it becomes more difficult to stay present, to stay present in this moment. How do you do that?
Well, one, to stay present is to have emotional management and discernment, and to think about and go within, what are you really feeling? Because a lot of stress sometimes is unexpressed, repressed emotions. And yes, we witness all of this transformation, this madness with transformation happening before us. And the call to action is to pray and to celebrate the gifts that we have and to be the agent of change by being on purpose with who we are and what we believe in, and to stand for what's right and to stand for what's true. And the dynamic, it looks like we're helpless, but prayers are never helpless. The power of the unseen world is never helpless. If you think about King and the March, everybody, Malcolm X, everybody, they prayed before they went out there to stand for the people. We need to pray to stand not only for the people, but to stand for ourselves, so we have clarity to know that we are not a victim of all of this transformation that is happening. We are rebirthing the whole dynamic of how we do life. We are being subjected to archaic mental disturbances and archaic beliefs that don't serve where we're going. And it's part of purification. And so if we witness it as purification and remember not to forget that there's something bigger than this, there's something greater than this. In the soul and God and who we are as a people is greater than a pen and a bill or whatever archaic dynamics that they're trying to create. They're going backwards, not forward. And life always goes forward. But sometimes you go backwards to see where you need to go forward and what you need to let go of and how you're willing to show up and be on purpose with truth. Truth will always win. And so we have to stop feeding the narrative with fear and judgment and take a stance in what's right and what's true. And if we come together as a collective and bring forth a life force energy to bring a different perspective of change, because it's like I said before, we talked about what we didn't want. We may have taken action of what we wanted, but we kept talking about.
We focused too much on what we didn't want. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. So Molly Bell says you are our friend too, Saharah, not just Dominique's.
Oh yeah.
Of an expression of love.
I know.
Powerful as expected and received.
Goofy.
But she also says.
I love Molly Bell. That's my girl.
She says, Sister Saharah Ali. She says, what can we do about Trumpism? I love God, but it hurts. Stepping boldly forward, I cry and pray a lot. I hurt for us. Dominique brings great positive and then prayer, but she's asking what can she do about it. And it sounds like that's what you were talking about. I mean, partly in whatever other negativity we're facing.
Stop crying, first of all.
Stop crying?
Stop crying.
Isn't crying good for you? Isn't it a release, an expression?
Crying is very healing, but are you crying out of pity or are you crying of empowerment? I cry of empowerment in the glory of the Most High manifesting in my life and putting me on purpose every single day. It's a feeling of elation that my life is God's life. And if we stand with that and we say that and know that our lives is God's life, God will move through you and make a miracle, and it'll change this narrative. People are being helpless because that's what they want is control, is propaganda, is all of this putting fear, like, I'm going to sweep us up. It's like, okay, well, what's your truth? This is just one man and his shenanigans. Okay, and yeah, he sits in the highest seat of this world, but he don't sit in the highest seat of my life or the world's life.
Yeah. E.C. Courtney says, Ashe, Sister Ali, you're on fire this morning in the spirit of the ancestors. Asante Sana, peace and power. Focusing on what we want, not what we don't want. I added that, and Molly Bell says, "I cry not to cuss." Okay. Well, look.
She could cuss. She could write it down on a piece of paper. I have to pass her lip. Just like, right, these people, the MFs and the S's and whatever. Write it out. So get it out so it doesn't turn to disease in your body. Freeform writing and I call them. I won't even say what it is, but it's an MF letter.
Dear MF letter.
You write the little letters, and you go put it in the trash. You have to get it out so that it can be replaced with the wholeness and the truth and the light. We as a collective people, and the journeys that our soul has taken, and all the indigenous people and all the ancestors that's lined up right now, put blinders on to your fear and pick up courage, pick up power, and be used in the right place at the right time. As Stevie said, God knows exactly where you should be placed. And don't you guys know God is watching it? And that we will see the reckoning. We always do. It's just we cannot be blind by the illusion that they're giving us is that we are helpless. We are not helpless. We are more powerful than we allow ourselves to be. And so that power starts with the acknowledgement of self and the power that you carry. Stop lying to yourself about who you're not and pick up your power and understand your purpose, because that's what this is about.
Saharah Ali, as usual, thank you very much. As more than usual, thank you. Now I don't have to do the courage pledge because Saharah already did it, y'all. Saharah Ali, if you want to find out what she's up to, go to SaharahAli.com. It's SaharAh. You can find out about the latest yoga classes, sound baths, or what have you. If you want a reading or a private yoga lesson or a sound bath, you can call her assistant, Elise, at 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783. Saharah Ali, thanks so much.
Thank you, and thank you, KBLA family. Have a blessed, beautiful, on-purpose week, stepping boldly on purpose and building a life of fulfillment.
Asante Sana. Perfect time to call me next on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, Member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Y'all ready for Gillette's best shave? Try Gillette Labs with 5 ultra-thin blades, a built-in exfoliating bar, a precision trimmer on the back for sharp lineups. Gillette Labs delivers that smooth shave. Plus, and check this out, with one refill, you'll get up to 30 shaves. And on average, the blades last 50% longer than Gillette Fusion. Got something special coming up and you gotta look good? Check out Gillette Labs, the best a man can get. Gillette Labs also available in heated.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Okay, I think I understand what James was saying, that he doesn't have sympathy for people because, he said he feels for them, but because black men have been dealing with fear of police and injustices at the hands of law enforcement his whole adult life and child life, he doesn't have the same kind of reaction that others maybe have. I think I understand that. I don't mean to say his point wrong, and he's still here, so he'll probably text me or tell me if I said it wrong. But I guess my reaction, and I do have some empathy there, because you wonder why people why they didn't stay steady with the 2020 protests, why people are allies who stepped up then stepped back, why people are retreating from pledges, why DEI, they're now acting like it's illegal after corporations pledged billions of dollars to level the playing field and then never made good on those pledges. They were just cheap marketing ploys and all of that. There's plenty of reasons for that. But I have to look at it in terms of right and wrong, in the big picture of the world, the universe. And it's wrong to arrest people and detain them with no crime committed when they are citizens, or when they are seeking asylum through the system that we've had in place for many years. You're changing the rules. You're terrorizing a community. Racial profiling is wrong for everybody. It's wrong for black people, for Asians, for Latinos. It's just wrong. And so while maybe I don't completely understand, because I'm not a black man, I'm the mother of one, but I think, I don't know, I feel like we have to hold on to our position as black Americans. We have been the moral compass of the world, right? From Malcolm X to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., all the way down the line. There's so many more I could name. We have set the tone. We have helped other people get their rights, from white women in this country to workers around the world. And I feel like no matter how hard the conditions and what the pressures are, we need to maintain that, because it's the right thing to do, right? Just like people criticize Black Lives Matter for standing with Palestine. The alliance between Palestinians and black American activists goes way back to the Black Panther Party. And if you were there in 2020 in those marches, you saw Latinos marching with us, Asians marching with us, you saw white folks marching with us. And yes, Latinos, lots of Latinos. I guess you had to be there to know it, like Pac says, but that's real. That's not made up. We have real allies. But even if we didn't, even if everyone else in the world was wrong, we still could be right. We still could be correct. We still could be just. And I've always stood on that. I've taken a lot of criticism for it myself, but I've always stood on that. Yes, I'm pro-black. Sweep around your own front door. I love my people. I love black people. I'm going to always stand for my community. And yes, if I have two equally qualified persons for a job, one is black and one is something else, I'm hiring the black person. That's just love, though. Love of my community does not add up to hate of anyone else's community. And it doesn't change the fact that right is right. correct is correct. Ethical is ethical, moral is moral. Human beings deserve human rights, and they do deserve respect, and they don't deserve to be terrorized. Kilmar Abrego Garcia got to be with his family last week after the Trump administration admitted they took him into custody by accident. Supposedly it was a mistake. He's been away from his family for 160 days. He's got a little under a week with them. Then he had what should have been a routine check-in with immigration this morning, and they took him back into custody. And they won't say why. And they're going to send him somewhere, and they won't say where. They've been threatening to deport him to Uganda, which is hilarious to me. The threat is, we're going to send you to be with those black African people. Oh, what worse boogeyman than that? They told him if he would admit to a crime of human trafficking, which he doesn't, he vehemently denies doing. It's because they found him in a car with 9 people and they said he was human trafficking. They let him go at the time, but apparently now they're trying to dredge that back up to cover their mistake and justify deporting him. So they're saying if he would admit to the made-up crime, they will send him to Costa Rica and he won't go to jail. Costa Rica sent a letter saying they would welcome him as a citizen or a legal resident or something like that, and he wouldn't have to go to jail. But if he won't admit that he's a criminal, a fake MS-13 member, then they're going to send him to Uganda where he'll go to jail, prison. I've never been to Uganda. It's not one of the countries I've been to yet, but I'm pretty sure you don't want to go to a Ugandan prison. I'm just guessing. That's foul. That's wrong. And I'm sorry, but I know James about to school me. I'm sorry, but I got to stand with Abrego and his family. He should be free right now. This is wrong. 800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in on this or something else. Right after news, traffic, and sports, only right here.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson says they are preparing for any unconstitutional troop deployments after President Trump threatened to send the National Guard.
What this president is attempting to do is not just unconstitutional, but it is very much a threat to our democracy.
Johnson says crime is already down and calls the move political overreach. President Trump is ending immigration programs for Haitians, putting 500,000 at risk of deportation. About 80 Haitian workers in Minnesota alone were recently laid off after losing work permits. Advocates warn of widespread hardship. And actress Patricia Apollonia Cotero is suing Prince's estate, claiming it's trying to claim ownership of her stage name. She's used it for over 40 years. The estate called the lawsuit frivolous and unwarranted. Cotero starred in Prince's 1984 film, Purple Rain. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
In Culver City, we have eyes on a wreck on the center divider of the 405 northbound before Washington Boulevard. Expect stop-and-go traffic from Century Boulevard as CHP tries to clear it to the shoulder. Santa Clarita, a fender bender is now on that right shoulder of the 5 southbound before the 14. However, you're still seeing major delays from Cowgrove Boulevard. And in Diamond Bar, a stalled vehicle is partially blocking the 57 southbound connector to the 60 westbound.
You deserve a car that thrills you. A car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, they've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers hit 4 home runs Sunday to crush San Diego 8-2. Freddie Freeman went deep twice. Shohei Ohtani and Ricky Dalton Rushing had the other 2. Mookie Betts also had a good day at the plate with 3 hits. Betts is batting .348 since August 5th. Sunday's win left the Dodgers and Padres tied for first place in the NL West with 31 games left in the regular season. The Angels were swept at home by the Chicago Cubs. They lost 4-3 to the Cubs on Sunday. The slumping Angels are now 8 games under .500 and start a 10-game road trip tonight at Texas. One of the top performances from the first weekend of the college football season was by an HBCU running back. North Carolina Central's Chris Mosley, a senior from Fort Worth, Texas, had 100 174 yards rushing and a touchdown on just 15 carries. Mosley helped North Carolina Central beat Southern University 31-14 in the MEAC SWAC Challenge in Atlanta. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
Nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD. But did you know that Black adults aged 65 and older are twice as likely as white adults to develop AD? You may be able to reduce your risk by managing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure, being physically active, eating healthy, and exercising your mind. To learn more about AD, the importance of early diagnosis and intervention, and a potential treatment option, visit treatalzearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com. This message is brought to you by AZI.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
no warrant, no key, privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
See, Miles leaves, you got Andy on the boards, and he's starting stuff already. Day one, Andy is starting stuff already. Andy, I go back in there, saying hi, whatever. James is back there hanging out with Andy. Andy's like, you got to let James clap back. That's not fair. You over there talking about So guess who's back? James Farr. Okay, so James and I were talking, and it's all Andy's fault. Thank you, Andy.
Don't believe that, Andy.
It's true.
She wants the smoke. All right.
So you said, I was talking about legal U.S. citizens and legal residents and folks following what has been the legal asylum process for decades. Mm-hmm. being detained by masked men and put in ICE custody and, roughed up and stuff. And you said that you don't have that much sympathy because as a black man, you've been dealing with authorities, police and such, and how problematic their treatment of black men is your whole life. Is that fair?
That's fair. I overstand what they are experiencing. I overstand.
And so thus you don't have that much sympathy.
I think when you say sympathy in that context, it makes me sound like a callous and a cruel and inhumane person. Okay, that's almost putting me in the same space as those who are actually perpetrating these acts on people. So
let's get some clarity here. You said keep that same energy when it comes to black people. I got you. And I asked you, do we have allies? But I should have asked you this. What about right and wrong? It is wrong to detain people without their rights. It is wrong to be a masked person and kidnap someone off the streets. It is wrong to discriminate against people or racially profile them, whether they're black, Latino, Asian, trans, whatever it is. So what about the moral high ground? What about that part? What about not just, tit for tat, you didn't take care of me, so I'm not going to take care of you. What about the moral high ground?
That's you saying that. I'm not arguing what's right or wrong. It is wrong, right? And it may prove to be against the law what's happening.
It is against the law.
Okay. Well, the courts will decide that. But this characterization that I'm not sympathetic because someone is experiencing something that I have, my father has, and many other black men have for centuries, as not being sympathetic. We're just aware of what it is. It's not anything new. So what are you
saying then? So what are you saying?
I'm saying I'm disinterested in being lectured by you or white folks who are saying that this is so horrible when I'm saying not you in this instance because you're front line. You've been an ally, more than an ally. You're a co-conspirator. So I don't want allies. I want people who are really actually out there doing the work, right?
Okay. Well, I wasn't trying to lecture you, but nobody wants to be lectured by anybody. But what's your bottom line? What are you asking? What's your position? Not being lectured is not a policy position.
No, it is illegal, I believe, right? The courts will determine. But again, you're talking about the Fourth Amendment being violated, right? And I'm saying perhaps we wouldn't have been here if white folks hadn't sat on the sideline for so many years. And now that they feel a certain kind of way, when Ray Ray, Day Day, and Bebe was curbed by the police, they rolled right by. They never stopped and said, "What did they do?"
Some did.
Come on, Dominique.
I mean, you were there in 2020. You were marching in 2020.
I was.
You know about white people for Black Lives. I've been marching since 73. So when you were...
I marched out the womb.
When is your birthday again?
September 2nd. I marched out the womb.
But the point is, I mean, I know allies don't solve everything.
They left, Dominique. They were not there for black people. They were there because of the pandemic. They were there because of Trump. And as soon as Joe Biden got elected, I watched the Black Lives Matter signs come out of my white neighborhood. I saw it. I watched their attention shift. I watched all of their problems be solved, and people like you.
All of their problems be solved.
I watched them the minute Joe Biden got in, and then people like you, who are lifelong Democrats, sat there and allowed this to happen.
Okay, so this is where we get into the Kamala hate.
Because you guys were having
a little Kamala hate session back there.
It was no Kamala hate session.
Andy says it wasn't.
There you go, editorializing. You weren't even
I wasn't editorializing. I was ear hustling, and I know Kamala hate when I hear it. What does that have to? Everything is Kamala's fault.
Fairness,
even the fact that white people do is Kamala's fault too. Now,
whoever earlier in the last hour said I look more conservative than I do progressive. Well, Andy wrongfully assumed, and I don't fault the brother. He doesn't know me that well, but he thought I was Team Kamala, and I'm like, no, that's not.
And that's a badge of honor, not being Team Kamala.
I don't see it as a badge of honor being Team Kamala. No, I mean I am an independent.
To be
as
fair,
you know.
you are a West Abdullah voter.
Absolutely.
And I say that because a lot of black men that hate Kamala went Team Trump. So I just want to be clear on that.
And that's an assumption that most people make. It's like, no, I didn't vote for Harris. No, you voted for Trump. No. Well, if you didn't vote for Harris, then you voted for Trump. Right.
Right. We don't need to relitigate that right now. But I think it's really interesting how y'all go all the way there when we weren't even talking about presidential politics. We were talking about racism and what is happening right now with the racial profiling of Latino people under ICE.
It's wrong. There, I said it. It's wrong. It's immoral. It's evil. It's draconian. It's fascist. It's authoritarian. I mean, do you want me to keep pulling? Okay, all right. You got my point.
Well, Jerry Anderson says I'm trying to shame you for wearing your truth. No, I'm not. This is talk radio. We argue. That's what we do. I think that if you have issues, I don't have a problem with that. I'm trying to understand it, though, because I know you to be a progressive, contrary to what the chat room says.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that means we have to respect, or my understanding, my authentic understanding of progressivism is we respect human rights.
We do. I mean, that's not what's in question. What I'm saying is I am healing from 2020, right? I'm inactive, and I need to heal to be better for the fight later on. I'm not sitting it out. I understand what's at stake.
I know you're not sitting it out. I see you out there.
I'm there
working,
but I am, I'm not as active on this issue. I'm not fighting or pushing against what people are doing. I'm just simply stating I'm disinterested in you, not you, but others telling me how bad life is currently when I'm not seeing much of a difference administration to administration. So I'm hoping when you put your political hat on, they need some real help, that the Dems call Dominique DiPrima and say, help us figure our, I'm waiting on the next great white hope, right?
Oh, that's me? I'm the next great.
No, not you. You gonna help figure it out, because they don't want to hear from me.
No, well, I don't know. I mean, I think that's part of the problem, is that they don't want to hear from you or me.
I agree.
To me, that is the major problem with the Democratic Party. They flee from the progressive wing, no matter how successful, Zoran Mamdani or Summer Lee or whoever. They run from us, and they want to go into this centrist pablum BS, and I think that's the problem.
I hope
that's the major problem with the
hope
Democratic
that
Party.
Those who have been wrongfully detained get justice, whatever that means to them. I hope they sue, win. But again, Dominique, I've been in too many situations and know too many stories where, people throw out anecdotally justice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've actually seen a check and seen a life commoditized. I happened to be with an attorney when they received the settlement from the county, right? And what that actually means in that moment, right? So justice is not money. Justice is it never happening.
Yeah.
That's
because it doesn't bring your loved one back. Okay, real quick, we're going to go to Fred. We're behind schedule, but we'll bounce back, Andy. Okay, hi, Fred.
Hello, Dominique. Yeah, two things, and I'll be fast. Abrego, that's the gentleman they want to deport to Uganda or wherever. He can go home voluntarily to his El Salvador if he wants to. I mean, we had this.
He's from the United States. He's not from El Salvador.
Well, they say he came here illegally from El Salvador, and he's under final orders to send him anywhere in the world, just not back to El Salvador.
Actually, that's not the truth. But okay, what's your second point?
Leticia James, I'm going to call you about that. Now, the New York Appeals Court, she ruled that she was on a witch hunt. I see they kneecapped her, and she won't be flying on her broom this Halloween.
Okay, thanks for calling, Fred. Have a nice day. Anything to say to what the ridiculous things Fred said? They did not kneecap her. What they did was they gave Trump a get-out-of-fee jail fee card, meaning he doesn't have to pay the $500 million, but he's still guilty of fraud. So she was still not kneecapped. She was still correct. She just that they let this guy off again.
Sounds like he's a Trumper.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Well, then nothing to say to it.
Just leave it right there.
Just leave it where it is. I mean, we don't need to disparage. I see, not even me. I don't disparage Vice President Kamala Harris. I just don't like her politics. That whole broom reference to our sister Letitia.
Yeah.
Bruh, knock it off.
Yeah. Well, who hurt you? I mean, but here's the thing. Like, I had a friend tell me over the weekend, you hate Trump. I don't hate Trump. I don't know him. I hate listening to him. I am forced to listen to him because he's the president. But I don't hate him. I hate his policies.
Yes.
It is different. I care zero about Trump. If he wasn't the president, I would be paying no attention to him. I don't like him or not like him. I've never met him. I don't know him. I hate his policies.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so filled with love. Like, I really? I have no space in my heart for love. I mean, for hate, right? Like,
okay.
it just.
I'm glad to hear that.
So it doesn't. I'm
when
not.
When did this happen?
I don't have that visceral effect by Trump. He's actually comical to me, right?
You don't have Trump derangement
syndrome.
No. I don't think I do either. I just don't like his policies. You think I have Trump derangement? See, now you're sounding like a conservative again.
What conservative?
Is it a black woman thing? Oh, wait, you're married to one.
Yes.
Okay, well.
Very much
good
a
thing
black
you're
woman.
not staying for Black Marriage Monday.
No. Y'all got that. Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
No.
You live that.
Every day, all 26. Anyway, but I think you are on. I mean, sometimes you get there, Dominique, and we got to pull you back.
Whatever.
We got to pull you back.
Ronald says, in all caps, I won't yell, but he's yelling at you. Mm-hmm. Tell your boy that there will be no Kamala Harris hate. She grew up in the city of Berkeley, and that's where I'm from. Thank you.
Ron, then you know I grew up in Richmond. Going to
and yet there's no hate in your heart.
There's absolutely. We're city
except for Kamala and Dominique,
city
and a
of
few
pride
other black women
and purpose, right? Ron, if you know the area where she went to elementary school, don't conflate that into Oakland, Berkeley. That is almost Albany and Kensington, folks. For locally, okay. Let's call it
you
Sierra.
Know what? Yeah, he's over here gang banging.
I'm not banging.
No
I'm just saying, don't. I didn't buy that. Listen.
No, all right.
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
because you have no hate in your heart, but
but
you seem to have a lot of
I just know
skepticism
the facts.
and
I know
non-love
facts.
for several
facts.
black women, including
facts.
one that you're sitting in the room with right
facts.
now. Oh yeah, all right. Who hurt you guys?
Yeah, facts.
You're gonna be all right.
Yeah. North Oakland is not East Oakland.
You're healed by your wife.
I am. Absolutely.
Praise God.
But I'm hoping, Dominique, that you have the solution for this country.
Oh, just me all by myself. I do.
I mean,
don't worry, I got this.
You believe Kamala was a solution, so I'm figuring you got a better.
I never said that. I believed that she would be a better president than the one we have now.
That's not saying a whole lot. Let's keep it a buck.
Well,
that's not
better
saying
than the one we have now, and better than the one we had at the time.
That is not saying a lot.
It's saying a lot if you're starving in Gaza, if you're being bombed in Yemen. It's saying a lot if you're being detained by a masked person, kidnapped off the street. It's saying a lot if you're a member of Black Lives Matter who's now been designated a terrorist organization. It's saying a lot depending on your circumstances. James, Andy, thank you for your clap back. And thank you for your work. Find him at James Farr Live or listen to him Saturday at 10 after This Is Not a Drill with Black Lives Matter. You're listening to KBLA, Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Hi, I'm LA City Councilmember Curran Price, inviting you to the 30th anniversary of the Central Avenue Jazz Festival, Saturday, September the 20th, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We've got 4 pavilions, 3 stages of live music, plus food, fun, and a marketplace all along historic Central Avenue between MLK Boulevard and Vernon Ave. Our featured acts this year are Gregory Porter, Pancho Sanchez, and Jasmine Horn at the 30th anniversary of the Central Avenue Jazz Festival, Saturday, September 20th, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. along Central Avenue between MLK Boulevard and Vernon Avenue. Come out and bring the whole family because this legendary celebration is free. For more information, go to centralavjazzfest.com. I'm LA Councilmember Curran Price, and I absolutely approve this message.
Ready to order?
Yes.
We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you're an African-American mom who is pregnant or have a baby under 6 months old, you deserve care that lifts, listens, and lasts. Black Infant Health is for you. It's a free program with individual support, group sessions, and resources to start your mothering journey. BIH makes space for moms and their families to create community. Learn more about the programs in Los Angeles County. Check us out at blackinfanthealth.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio, KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, I guess we're letting this man stay on the mic until 7. Is that what we're doing? Hey, Andy.
8.
Why you start stuff? Why you a stuff starter, Andy? Oh, now you quiet.
Game. Yeah. No, it ain't no drama.
What'd you say, Andy? I like a little drama. Oh, that's what it is. You like a little drama? Paul's hopped in the chat and he's saying, yeah, keep saying this stories that Kamala hasn't done anything for California. Not true. My friend DM'd us. Dr. Abdullah said, the doctor, that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden weren't the only options. We know that. We just covered the fact that even though he looks like a Trump voter to some, James Farr is actually a West and Abdullah.
Stop saying that, Dominique. You plant that seed out there.
I didn't plant the seed. That was me. That was, who was it? Somebody in the chat.
You sound like those are Republican talking points.
But the point is that, well, sometimes you do.
No, I am a free-thinking black man that has an opinion.
The point is
but
that
if it's right, it's right.
And if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Yeah.
And the point is you were more than an Abdullah West voter. You were a real supporter.
Absolutely.
You know, you did fundraisers for them and all that kind of stuff.
Hosted their election night result parties.
I think it's pretty pathetic that certain people are still relitigating that election and using this as an opportunity to bash Kamala Harris. You could say that's a low bar, but she was the victim of a lot of bad Republican talking points for sure. And that's why people probably see it that way. But we started off talking about these ICE raids, and to Homeboy's point, Fred, he says he's an independent, but he always brings a nice big helping of MAGA talking points. To his point, Kilmar Abrego Garcia had been granted by a judge the opportunity to stay in this country because there was a credible threat that if he went back to El Salvador, he would be murdered by MS-13. Not that he was a gang member, but the reason he supposedly left El Salvador in the first place was because of whatever, it's recruitment or some kind of situation around MS-13. Now, the Trump administration first said they deported him by mistake Then they later reneged on their admission of a mistake and said, really, he's an MS-13 member. And now they're trying to get him to admit to that. But if they really think he's a gang member, why would they send him to Costa Rica and give him a get-out-of-jail-free card? But if he turns out that he doesn't admit it, they're going to send him to Uganda and put him in an African prison.
Mm-hmm. So is your point that the border needs to be fixed? Or is your point that
that's not what I was talking about? I don't think the border needs to be fixed. I think our immigration policy needs to be fixed. Okay. Uh-huh. But that's something that both Republicans and Democrats have been too scared. Not really, not a consistent one. You're talking about enforcement,
right? I mean, the process is the same for everybody.
Our immigration policies, no, it's not. Our immigration policies have been a big mishmash since day one. Mm-hmm. That's not what I was talking about. What I was talking about is the fact I was refuting Fred's point that Abrego Garcia had been given an order to leave. That was actually not true.
Okay.
That's all I was refuting.
Yeah, I mean,
what was your point about the border?
No, I was wondering because you mentioned that, he is applying for asylum or that he is in fear of his life if he goes back to...
Well, I said that a judge said there was credible evidence that he would be in danger, and so they granted him permission to stay. Mm-hmm. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, he's either going to Costa Rica or probably Uganda at this point. So, I mean, rights abridged. They can change the rules every 5 minutes, but that's not what the rule of law was when he was detained. That was my point.
Yeah, but you're asking an immoral president to have a moral compass. So, of course, they're going to change the rules. Of course, they're going to do whatever it is that fits with what his agenda is.
Lying and moving the goalposts at will is...
Dominique,
so blatantly is fairly new for our country.
No, it's not.
So blatantly, yes, it is.
No. This country has is woven together by white domination and white supremacy. So they've been lying and manipulating.
But so blatantly, no, not like this. Not like, we deported him by mistake. Oh, wait, no, he's a criminal. He's a gang member. It's your head spins. They change the rules.
It's
so
an
much.
experiment.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
A mind control experiment.
Absolutely. Yeah. People are scared, right? And that's what I'm saying. I'm not afraid because I have, for my own survival, had to move a certain way as a black man in America.
I'm glad you're not scared.
I'm not.
Find him at James Farr Live. Find me at DiPrima Radio. We got to go. It's Black Marriage Monday. I'm surprised you're still here. I might make you talk.
Nope.
If you stick around.
See ya.
Talking relationships next after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A federal judge has halted construction at Florida's Alligator Alcatraz, a migrant detainee center. Environmentalists say the site harmed wildlife.
With all that traffic going over there, all that light pollution going in there, all that noise, that, in my opinion, no question has altered wildlife in the area.
The state is appealing. Kalila Few, a black woman, is suing Clayton County, Georgia after officials denied her salon permit despite $40,000 in renovations. Few says the rejection was arbitrary and devastating. Her attorney argues it violates her constitutional rights. And black twin brothers Jamil and Jalal Paul are now pilots for United Airlines, turning a childhood dream into reality. The New Jersey natives, inspired by a flight at age 4, now fly side by side from Houston, breaking barriers in aviation. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
In Santa Clarita, it looks like your drive is still stacked on the 14 southbound between Via Princesa and the 5 due to a previous wreck